Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, December 12, 2020. My name is Karen Bodenschatz, and I serve as Associate Pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin. And this is my morning musing for today. So when I was on internship, my congregation that I was serving celebrated St. Lucia Day, and I had never heard of it before. It wasn't something that my home congregation did, but it was a delight to be a part of this Advent ritual. And St. Lucia, or Lucia, depending on the ethnic group that is celebrating this day, she was known as Lucy of Syracuse, or Lucia of Syracuse, and she was one of the very first martyrs that we know of or that we venerate. And she was killed in what's called the Great Persecution in the year 304. And she was killed because she would care for, there's two stories. She would bring food to those who were hiding, Christians who were hiding in the Roman catacombs. And so she would wear a wreath of candles on her head and to guide her way so that her hands could be free to hold as much food as possible. That's the first story. The second story is that she led them out of the catacombs and so had a wreath of candles on her head to light the way. Regardless of which story you celebrate, the festival of St. Lucia is one that is on December 13th, which in many Nordic countries is the longest day of the year. For us here in the West and in most of the world, that's the 21st, the winter solstice. But December 13th became her feast day because it was one of the longest nights of the year, and Lucia is light. And so it's a celebration of light in the midst of the darkest part of the year, especially for those Scandinavian countries that are so very far north, which is the celebration that I got to participate in Connecticut in my home, or my internship congregation. And so I've been thinking about St. Lucia and her festival and the ways that they celebrate it with lots of food and light and pageantry. It's quite a big deal, and I look forward to seeing it online today from my internship congregation. But I was also thinking about how to mark that this year especially. It's not something that I typically mark, but to imagine how can I mark tomorrow as St. Lucia's feast day by bringing light and food to those who are around me or who could use it, which I think is just about all of us, right? That we could use some light, we could use some companionship, and how do we do that in the midst of a pandemic where we can't be gathered together to celebrate this particular feast day? How can we bring light into each other's world? How can we bring connection? How can we care for those who feel like they're sitting in darkness and remind them that they are not? How can we take St. Lucy's example and live it here in 2020? That's what I've been thinking about and pondering. I imagine that I will hang my lights and get some decorations here in my own home, and that there perhaps will be some baking going on today that will be delivered to some of my dear ones tomorrow as part of St. Lucia Day. I hope you're thinking about ways that you can bring joy to others, and knowing that when we do that, when we bring light and joy to other people, we bring light and joy into our own lives. That in this particularly dark December, we can do that together, and together we will get through it. Even if nothing feels normal, we will still manage to make our way through this month and next month and all the months to come. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for worship. We worship at 8 and 10:30 as normal. You are going, I hope, enjoy the lighting of the Advent wreath and the ways that we are marking the days till Christmas when the true light comes. Until then, be well, be kind, for Christ is with you.